You could hear everyone laughing when that one analyst was like, "Well, why are you guys doing vision only? It's bro, go ride one of these cars. They've solved it. Shut your mouth." But you can just tell some people still haven't tried it when they're asking dumb questions like that. The thing that I think is the most profound impact on the company's financials is millions of RoboTaxis on the road by next year. I think people just haven't realized how significant that will be if it's true. It's a real big if true kind of statement. But I've been looking at this math a little bit, and just some real simple math is if you have 1 million RoboTaxis and it's doing, let's say, 10,000 miles a quarter, so 40,000 a year, that gets to roughly 10 billion miles driven. And so if you assume your price comes down, it's like $1.50 per mile, that's 15 billion of revenue. And then if Tesla takes, let's say, 30% of that, that's $4.5 billion of revenue that Tesla could have like next year. And that's really meaningful. That's dollar per share kind of impact. And that's just at 1 million. So if it's actually millions, like the kind of S curve of the ramp in Tesla's profitability, I think could really surprise. Now, I think there's reasons to be somewhat skeptical that they'll get to that level that quickly. They're going to need a lot of jurisdictions. They're going to need a lot of demand. People are going to have to like actually choose to use these vehicles. And I think at that size, they'd be, by my math, like 6% of Uber's total market share, just in terms of miles driven. So not impossible, but that's going from zero, that'd be pretty quick to get up to that type of scale. That was the one that just stuck out to me the most, though, because if they actually deliver on that, then all the rest of this, oh, what about how many demo drives did you really do? It's all noise at that point. So for me, that was the big one for sure.
If Trump and the tariff strategy actually work out in the U.S.'s favor, and then you have this insane investment forcing function into the United States, and there's a lot of growing consumer confidence, and you have businesses capitalizing on that confidence and basically revitalizing the economy in some respects, and it gives people a lot of confidence, then you could see Tesla being priced differently. Instead of being priced as a automaker with a lot of potential, it could be like, holy crap, this bot is obviously coming, this FSD thing is obviously coming, then we're going to front load all the stuff. But I really don't think that's going to happen. The thesis for the longest time for me has been that once it shows up on the P&L, once autonomy and the bot show up in the P&L, this stock is probably not going to do too much. It's just not going to do too much. And I think realistically speaking now, we're stuck in this phase for 12 months. So the stock's not going to do much for 12 months. That's my takeaway.
I might push back on that, and certainly not investment advice, but you could hear everyone laughing when that one analyst was like, "Well, why are you guys doing vision only? It's bro, go ride one of these cars. They've solved it. Shut your mouth." But you can just tell some people still haven't tried it when they're asking dumb questions like that. So to me, it feels like we have like an information advantage, people who actually are driving the latest version of the software, because you can actually tell that they've solved it.
I agree with that.
And I think when they actually launched this service in Austin, and like these idiot analysts, when they could have driven in the car all these years, they're gonna fly down to Austin to try it out and be like, "Wow, this actually works." And then they'll write this note and be like, "Guys, they've actually solved it. Like we did this firsthand research
out of nowhere,
really
completely unexpected."
Yeah.
So to me, I think the narrative can change when you actually are able to fly down to Austin, like they were saying, and go and experience it yourself. I think that the fact that a driver won't actually be in the car will actually change a lot of people's minds. And I don't know how much buzz that will get. I don't think that's going to solve all the stock's problems overnight by any stretch. But to me, as it just becomes increasingly clear, and they roll out to more cities by year end, and just general awareness of this grows, I think it's going to be hard to refute the fact that like this will be contributing to the bottom line within the next 12 months. If you fast forward to the end of Q3, and let's say they're in 3 or 4 cities, you can go try it out, and they're like, it's actually impacting bottom line. Now, granted, it might only be a penny or something like that, but they can like share some unit economics of what the fleet is doing, and then talk about their expansion plans. Yeah, like you can actually model it. I think that the stock might start moving when you get that level of kind of excitement, and it's a little easier to grasp.
What happens if the Fed does lower interest rates too? If they lower interest rates,
the Fed will lower interest rates.
I feel like they have to at this point.
Valuation
is like at 1.3 or something. Matt, have you found that to be an accurate sort of measure for inflation?
So I don't look at it often enough to have a gauge on that. I've heard mixed results on it, so I don't know. I'm a little worried about the economy just in general right now. My suspicion is that we are in a recession. I think we're going to have lower consumer spending for a while. I think that hurts Tesla. So I think your broader point, Farzad, that like we've got a lot of stuff that's not super exciting over the next 12 months. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.